I guess they dilate your pupils. I assume that means that they make them larger. I actually have no idea. Dilations make something get larger or smaller. That's just
Yeah.
like notes stuff. That's not really anything more to think about. All right. You guys are talking about reflections. Did you guys already talk about translations? The D-pad here. Did you guys talk about up, down, left, right at some point?
Yeah, I think it was covered briefly.
Very good. Okay. So single reflection. Can you say yes or no for sure to any of these?
3 and 5.
So for 3, it's right down the middle. For 5, it actually could be, yeah, it's actually right down the middle again. Um, so let's talk about 4. What 4 is not a reflection. What could 4 be out of the list that we had earlier, which was translation, reflection, and rotation?
Rotation.
It is a rotation. And I actually think you should actually say that here. I know it's not asked for that, but I mean, I think that's good there. How about number 2?
Um, Translation.
Or the translation. Now we can be more specific. Is it up, down, left, or right?
Right.
And that assumes that you start and end, right?
Yeah.
So you do have to say where you start and end. Same with number 4. The rotation is either clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on whether you're where you're starting, where you're ending. So keep that in mind. They talk about like a pre-image. Did you guys talk about that?
Yeah.
Post-image.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions, thoughts on that before we proceed?
No.
All right. So for number 6, the instructor asks you to do these reflections, and they say that the graph is not required, but what could really help is to actually graph the point and then the thing that you're reflecting over. So for example, let's put, let's put that point 3, -4. There's the point right there, 3, -4. And for the first one, you're reflecting it over the x-axis. So you might want to move, actually draw that new point. That would help you to avoid putting in the wrong coordinates for it. And then for the y-axis, you're like, okay, well, there it is. It must be over there because that's the y-axis. Okay. Could you give me those 2 ordered pairs, please, for those first 2 answers?
Uh, for the first, it would be 3, 4,
Okay.
and the next would be -3, -4.
Okay. And what I actually think is just as important, which I don't know why your teacher isn't asking for, is to actually put like a verbal description of what's happening. Like what is changing from the original coordinate? Is it the X or the Y or both? What's changing from the original?
Um, the Y.
Y. Y has changed. How about with the Y-axis one? What's changed from the original?
The X.
X has changed, yeah. All right, we're going to come back to Y equals X because that one's a little weird. And then we'll do Y equals 2. Y equals 2. So again, we're going back to that original right here, and you might even want to graph that line y equals 2. There's y equals 2. And it's like, all right, well, what does that mean? Well, you just count the number of spaces. So, and you don't count the first one, you just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that new point is up there. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So could you and I think you do want to graph these. I know it says it's not required, but I would graph them. Could you give me those new ordered pairs, please?
Sure. 3. That's 3, 8.
Okay, sounds good. Now x equals -4. Let's see if I got any other pen colors here. Right. We'll go back to blue. So x equals -4 is this line here. So you're starting from that red dot down. You're just counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You go out 7. Like you don't really have anywhere to draw it, but you can imagine going out 7 to get to it.
Yeah.
What would that ordered pair be?
Be -7, -4.
So it's going out 7 past this -4.
Oh, right.
7 left of it.
Okay, so it's -11,
Yeah, -11, comma, -4.
-3, or -4.
-4, yeah. Okay, now the last one, there actually is, and I'm going to send this over to you in the chat. There is a cheat sheet, a reference sheet here for this. The fact that I have one of these means you probably will use it quite a bit. Now, does this have all of them? Yes, it does. Most everyone you'll need. So this is, again, these are good things to print out. So when it's over the y-axis, this is the first kind of rule. Your original ordered pair, xy goes to yx, which means you switch them. This one's a lot harder to do by just looking at the graph, which is why you need this reference. So hopefully you've got that. Now there's one that they actually don't write on here, which you might want to add to it if you end up printing it out, is that fy for y equals -x becomes -y minus x, like that. There's another one. Okay, so that means that you just switch the positions on these, -4, comma 3, and there's your answer. Any thoughts on that? Questions?
No.
So number 7 is going to be tough because it's not there. That's okay. We'll just do it anyway. The same approach here. I'm going to suggest that you graph it, even though you can't exactly get it on your graph. You can start to get a rough idea though where it is. Yeah, -8, -11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 3 down. Like there it is. There's -8, comma -11. So I'd like you to try the first two. Give me the first two. That reference sheet will help.
For those two, I got a -8, 11, and then 8, 11.
The second one is not correct. Here's what you said. I don't know if you want to modify that at all.
Okay. 8 -11.
There you go. Very good. So remember, you're always changing the original, not the modified one. Okay, any feedback for me on that? Or anything clarify?
No.
Okay. So y equals 5 is a horizontal line. It's going to be most similar to the x-axis one. So you might, kind of do these in that sort of order. So will you do the y equals 5 one next, and then the y x equals -5?
Okay.
How are you doing on this one?
I think I did it incorrectly. What? I forgot what to do after, like how to set up what.
Well, the problem with this one is you can't really graph it. The graph's basically useless. So here is the line y equals 5. How far
Yeah,
away is this point from y equals 5?
um,
It's 11 plus 5. Why is it 11? Where does that come from?
the 11
Yeah,
in
negative
the
11.
y because it's y.
Yeah. And then you add 5 because you're going up 5. Because really there's like the axis, which you could draw on there if you wanted. So you now need to go up 16 further from 5. What's 16 up and then adding 5 to it?
21.
21. Notice the x value stays the same. For the
Okay.
x equals minus 5, it's kind of the same thing. I'll do it in different color here. There's x equals minus 5. There's that right there. So how far away is it from minus 5?
-3 or
So
or
positive
just yeah,
3.
just 3.
Then you got to go 3 more to the right of minus 5. Where does that get you?
6.
To the right. You're going right. You're at minus 5
Oh,
and you're
right.
going right 3.
-8.
You're going
8.
right, not left. You,
I,
okay, so you're at minus 8 and you're going back 3. That gets you to minus 5.
uh,
Then you're going right 3 more.
right. 13.
I don't know where you're getting these numbers. We're going to the right. Like there's 7, 6, -7, -6, -5. That's
Oh,
1, 2, 3. And then you keep going to the right. -4, -3, -2.
oh, okay.
So you're at -8, -11. Like you're just going right 3. That's -5. And you go 3 more. This is not to scale. I mean, that was the issue with having the graph, is it doesn't really help. So that puts you at -2. And then what doesn't change is the y value. It stays the same. Okay. Now the last one here is y equals minus x. Thank goodness I threw that in here. You didn't have that, but you flip x and y and then you negate them. So if they're negative, they become positive. If they're positive, they become negative. You have to flip the x and y value of the original, flip the x and y values of the original, and then negate them. So what goes here?
Um, 8, 11.
You flip them, switch them first.
Oh, yeah, right. So 11, 8.
11, 8, yeah. Okay. I think the next page will be easier because you're doing the same transformation multiple times um, to help learn the rule. All right, so let's take a look at 8 here. All right, so on your graph, I'd like you to plot the 3 points A, B, and C for me. I'm going to do those in red. Go ahead and plot those. Let me know when you're done.
Done that.
All right, so if A is 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's make sure we got them in the right place. So you label that with an A. B is -2, 3. There's B. And then C -5, -3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. So that's C. Now, I think it's important to label like, well, what is the x-axis? Like, even though you probably know, just make sure you really remember it. And then I like to actually write the coordinates of it as well. Does it say to? It doesn't say to, but I think you should label them. And then this little apostrophe thing is called a prime, A prime, B prime, C prime. So when you're going over the x-axis, the only thing that changes is the y value. So the x values are actually all going to be the same. According to that cheat sheet I sent you, what happens to the y value?
Let me take a better look. Biases. It flips, or no, it doesn't flip. Just the y becomes negative. Yep.
And if it's negative, it becomes positive. So it just changes sign. So that's -5, -3, +3. So in blue here, you should see, and this is where you got to label them appropriately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's A prime, 2, -2, -3, B prime, and then C prime. Your teacher's looking for something like that.
All right.
Right. So you're getting a feel for what you have to do here. Why don't you try number 9 on your own? Number 9 is just the y-axis. It's up to you if you want to make that table or not. I recommend it.
All right. Okay, so I have for uh, I have that. Um,
All right.
yeah.
I was not wanting to just jump in. But the only thing that changes is the X value when you go down the Y-axis. Any
Right.
questions on that?
Nope.
Okay. You got the rule for the next one. Why don't you give that a try?
All right. Okay, so I have for R prime -2, 6. S is 4, -1, and Z is the same.
3, 3. Yeah. Good. Did you graph these?
Yes.
Nice. All right. I would tell you to let's do 12 and 13 next because they're kind of the most challenging. We'll come back to 11. I'm sure we'll have time for all of them, but um, for 12, and you kind of notice I did this in you want to graph the line and the y equals x is this diagonal one, y equals -1 is a horizontal line. And you just want to be really clear, like that's your mirror line now.
All right.
So give this a try. I'll give you the new ordered pairs here as well. I would graph them and then just count.
All right. Okay, so for L prime, I have uh 5, 1, right?
5, 1, you said?
Yeah,
Did you end up graphing these though?
yeah.
Okay, so let me graph the first one here because that may change your answer. So 5, -6, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right there. Now you're just counting up. There's 5 up. So you're gonna go 5 up from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there, that's where L prime is going to be located, 5 up. Do you want to change your
Uh,
answer?
okay. Okay, for
What is L prime now?
L prime is 5, 6.
No, you're counting up from the x-axis.
Oh, right.
Right, so 1, 2, 3,
Five,
4, 5, 5, 4.
right.
Okay, so M may be easier. What did you get for M as your M prime? Or if you need some more time, that's fine too.
Yeah, that's definitely
So
wrong. Um,
are you graphing the point? Like 3, 0 is red and blue there. And then you're just counting how far is it from the black line. It's one space away, so you go down one space.
okay, so that was correct. I just had every other one in the wrong place.
What's the ordered pair for that?
Um, uh, 3, uh, um, -2.
Good, good, good. All right. All right. Let me know when you got the next ones.
Okay, and then O prime is -2, 0. I
O
think.
prime. It's
Yeah.
okay. And how about N prime?
Yeah. Uh, -1, -4.
Good. Make sure we get 13. 11 you'll be able to get by using that formula. Um, the ones where they're not, there's no formulas for these, you just have to do them. So here is the mirror, x equals 2 is your mirror right there. There's your mirror line. And then I'm going to plot all the original points here. So R2, -3, it's right on it. S is 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. -3, 4. P, and then U -4, -1.
Uh, U prime is 8, -1.
U prime.
Yeah. Okay. Then
Let's see, U prime. Yeah, looks good.
S prime is -1, 3.
It's got to have the same Y value. They always have the same Y value.
Okay, -y. Or it's
It is -1,
yeah,
and then
-1, 2.
yes.
T prime is 7, 4.
That's right. And then R prime.
And R is the same, I think.
It is because it's the same point. It's right on top. It's right on the mirror.
Yeah.
Okay, good job. We're going to go ahead and stop there for today. You get that one